Alright, hello world. Welcome back to another video. I already filmed this section, so I'm just going to speed run through it. We're out here at the Crown Coliseum complex on the east parking lot behind the convention center. I had some trouble filming earlier because GoPro just sucks. We're out here in a parking lot doing what most people should do. What is that? Practicing riding the motorcycle. Oh my god, imagine! That's crazy. I always hear, Rabbit, how do I lean my bike over further? Rabbit, how do I do this? I'm here to tell you how. You go to an empty-ass parking lot like this, where neither you nor your loud-ass bike are going to bother a single soul. You come out here, you have perfect lines laid out for you, albeit they're a little slippery, but good enough, within road tolerance, you know. You have very little sand and very little oil spills, unlike at some of the MSF courses I've been to. Shout out Fort Bragg Harley Davidson. The Fort Rucker MSF course, which is just at a steeper hill than this, which is unbelievable. That's one of the courses that I've crashed 3 times on. Once with my bike and then twice with the MSF course bike. And you know what's crazy about that is that could have been avoided if I just rode my bike on the lot a little bit longer and had a little bit more practice. No shit. Alright, so get out here to an empty parking lot. T-clocks your motorcycle. If you don't know what that is, you need to go take an MSF course, a basic rider course, and then get out here and just ride the thing, right? And here's some of the things that I like to do to practice riding, right? One of that is practicing turning my bike on. Oh man, shout out to new model bikes that take half an hour to boot up because they have a supercomputer on board. And you gotta put it in rider mode every time. Shout out to the EU for making it so you have to have ABS in the on position. So, when I'm out on the parking lot, Rabbit, what the hell do I do? How do I practice? Well, one of the things you can practice really well is just looking where you're going, right? Riding with one hand right now, it's not taking a whole lot of effort. I'm looking where I want to go. I want to go there. No shit. Look at that. The bike leans into place. I'm going where I am. This also helps in skateboarding, you know? So all you got to do, and this is a good way to practice throttle and brake control actually, just point where you want to go with your face and then go there. No shit. Hey! You know? And then even here, a little bit more speed, a little bit more pointing, point further out maybe, see, pointing past that, I want to go here. Done, easy clap, first drill, completely over. Now, the more serious drills. We roll up, we want to turn around, we turn around in 2 parking spots. You don't need more, you don't need less, you know what I'm saying? If you're in 1 parking spot, let's avoid that actually. That would have been catastrophic. But if you want to turn around in 1 parking spot, just park and lift turn your bike on the kickstand. It's that easy, right? Here, just a little on the brakes, get the balance, swing it over, bam, perfectly. Yup, and another one. Oh, I shot that one a little wide. It's alright. Still made it within 3. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? This is a great drill. And once you're done with this drill, oh, by the way, don't forget how powerful your foot is, that if you cook it, you can just put your foot on the ground and you don't have to topple your bike over and spend a couple K or get stuck in the parking lot if you bend your shifter to replace that shifter, you know, because they do get expensive. Oh, cabs, go away, nobody likes you. Anyway, so where do we go from there? Now we know how to turn our bike around relatively well, right? You can start picking these spots right here. See that? So what do we do with these? Well, I like to give myself 2 parking spots and then just do a little figure 8, right? Try to keep it within the 2 parking spots. Again, look where you want to go. Because at this point in time, you're going to have to put in some pretty aggressive lean angle. I don't want to look the wrong way and then end up crashing. But you can just do this. Right? See how I'm staying within the parking lot, between the circles. Oh, this one's a little wide, so we apply some trail braking. That's fine. Right? Easy clap. This also wars in the side of your tires, which everybody's always concerned about. You have chicken strips on your bike. No, I don't, because guess who's been practicing in the parking lot? Me, brother. because I'm the best rider alive. Okay, now I'm just getting weird and cringe. Speaking of weird and cringe, guys, I have a new podcast available where that's one of the things I talk about in the pilot episode, is just riding your bike as intended, you know? This is a Moto 2 edition, Street Triple RS, comes with Olin suspension, an engine straight out of Moto 2. That's not a bike flex, that's a, hey, this is a race bike. You should ride it like a race bike and not sit it in your garage because it has a number on the dash and then never ride it. So if you want to hear more about that, check out Shower Thoughts on a Motorcycle. It's my new podcast, link below in the description, and you know, available wherever. All right, what's another thing you can practice here? So as you see, we have a nice long straightaway here. We're going to check for any cops, get up to speed, and then emergency brake with engine braking. You can do this in first gear. The Crown Complex is probably not going to love this one, but see, speed up, doing 40 miles an hour, hard on the brakes. You might even lift into a little stoppie, and that's important too, because like Toprak's race engineer says, if you wonder where your engine braking's going, you don't have it because your rear wheel's off the ground. So again, get some practice in here, go over here, and hard on the brakes, clench your thighs. Yeah. I think personally that riding on the limits of your brakes is far more important than riding on the limits of your throttle. It'll also teach you where the load of your front tire is, because if you're going too fast, you're probably gonna slide a little bit, and being able to control that on the road is very important. All right, anyway, what else can you practice on a big parking lot like this? Because we have so much space. Well, one of the things you can do is you can take one of these whole lots and then practice just leaning the bike, right? And then you hit this huge sand patch right there and fall on your face, and then your, you know, expensive motorcycle is damaged. No, I mean, you gotta be able to get over the fact of crashing, right? If you constantly think about crashing, it's probably what you're going to end up doing, right? But if you go drills in order, look where you're going, point where you're going, where you want to go, have your head follow it, right? We're not going to bother this person in the van because that would be an asshole move, but point where you want to go, then practice your figure eights, you know, maybe a little bit further off the bike this time. Slow speed, practice where you're going. See, and my knee's automatically on the ground. It's so crazy how that works. Once you have it figured out where you want to, and I'm not aggressively leaning off my bike either, right? But you feel that, you feel the bike acting up a little bit because my knee's just dragging along the ground. And if you need proof of that, because there's also a lot of haters on that clip I posted. Look at that, you can wear on your knee sliders, and it gets expensive if you do it a lot. So just don't do it a lot because it's not necessary. The truly fast guys will tell you, dragging your knee on the ground isn't everything, you know? So avoid that. It's there to stop your shin from getting messed up. But yeah, it all comes, you know? One after the other. Just practice deliberately, which is what this whole video could just boil down to. I could say that, you could be like, hey ChatGPT, what's practicing deliberately? And it would, like, on a motorcycle, and it would probably be like, well, here you go, this is what it is, right? But then you can do all this stuff like it's second nature, right? Like, pretty much. Now my tires are warm, I can do it pretty much one-handed. Clutch would be nice because this is a little scary, but you get the point, right? Don't be afraid to go out on an empty parking lot. You're not going to bother anybody. You're going to look way cooler when your front and rear tires are scrubbed in, you know. You're going to be more confident. Not that that matters anyway. I don't think you should hate on anybody. I don't think you should hate on anybody that has chicken strips on their bike, you know. And the experts know it doesn't mean shit anyway. But what this all boils down to, go in an open parking lot, practice the MSF drills, practice the advanced sport bike course drills or advanced rider skills that you learn, sign up to NC Bike Safe so you can ride out with some police. Chances are, if you meet these guys in the wild because you were doing like 19 over the speed limit, which is not reckless riding in North Carolina, they'll probably let you get off on a warning because they've seen you from the sport bike course, you know? So go out and do NC Bike Safe, educate yourself on how to be a better rider, and you'll be safer on the streets. That's all it boils down to. You don't have to go out in full track gear and grind down your freaking knee sliders like an idiot. The less you are of, or the more practice you are, the better. The less stress you have in your thoughts, the better. Because if you sit there and you think, oh shit, I sent it too hard in this corner, and then you're looking at the corner, you're gonna crash into the corner. That's what happened to me at 85 miles an hour. I got permanent knee damage because of it. It sucks. But that doesn't have to be you if you go out and practice, okay? So I really appreciate you for watching. If you want better footage and better audio, support me on the coffee. Support our sponsors. I'm sweating like crazy right now. One of the channel sponsors is Jam's Lathering Soap. It's my partner's brand. All things aside, he doesn't pay me, beside in love and affection, for supporting the business. So go out there, use Hausverse 10, get 10% off some soap after your practice session so you don't smell disgusting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like the content, drop me a like. If you didn't and you disagree, drop me a dislike and leave a comment below. Most of the haters do anyway, but even if it's constructive criticism of, hey, you could work on this, hey, you could work on that, I'm always open to anything, you know. The more you can learn, the better, which is also what one of my podcast episodes is about, in the description below. All right. Thanks so much for hanging around and listening to me talk. I really appreciate it. I learned a lot today from this session, and I hope you learn more from your next session. I'll see you guys then. Bye.